There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch and it's bringing me out the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and sell me out and I'll lay your ship bare. See, I'll leave with every piece of you.
What's happening, YouTube? Just wanted to touch on a quick subject, just very briefly, and it's the idea of genetics. This one's coming to my mind because I was speaking to someone the other day, and their idea that you're only allowed to go up to what your genetic potential will allow you to be. Now, first, I want to say that's not true, completely not true. Your genetic profile is something that can be broken. It's not set in stone. Yes, people have better genetics than others, which allow people to gain more quicker, or some people will be leaner quicker, but it doesn't mean that you can't get to the same state. It just may take you a little bit longer, or you may have a different process of getting there. So I just want to touch upon the genetics of things. If you look at it, I mean, there's a lot of people who have good genetics. For instance, if you look at the Olympia, all you have to do is look at the top boys in that. You've got Phil Heath in there, who's often called the gift, as they call him, because he's got good genetics, and they always say that he kind of inherited all his muscle, and he's been really lucky with it, which in a degree he has been. He has got a very good shape and a very good frame, but he's granted he's had to put in thousands of hours to look like that. So, but then you look at the other end of the spectrum, and I think Kai Green, he's not so much genetically as well enhanced as Phil Heath, but still he looks awesome, and he's really obviously he's so close to Phil in the last couple of years as well. So genetic profiling on people is kind of something that I don't like to think about. It does give you an advantage in the sense that you may gain quicker, like I said, but there's nothing that can't be broken. I think the main one for my genetic profile is probably my calves and my legs, but now I've changed my program and things are working differently. My legs and my calves are growing. They're growing a lot more than what they had been previously. So it's kind of about, if you've got bad genetics in a certain area, it's about finding the way in which that body part is going to react to you training in a specific way. It's smart training. You find out what works for you and you use it. So that smart training I was mentioning about, if you've got stubborn ass calves that just will not grow, then you need to find out a way in which they will grow, because the only reason they're not growing is because you're not training them properly, and you're not training them, well, you may be training them properly, but they're not training to what your body needs it to be. So my calves will train differently to someone else's calves, and their calves will be somewhat different to somebody else's. So it's about being smart about your training, finding what works for you and sticking to it, and then improving on that, and then making your gains on that program, and then looking at other things, how to make it even better and bigger. So just find out what works for you, really, and then keep interpreting that into your program, and just be smart about your training. A lot of people have body parts that are better than others, and it's just about being smart and training the parts that aren't affected as well. So for some people have really big shoulders, but their chest then lacks because their shoulders take over in the chest press, and the other way around. Some people like myself have quite a good chest, and the shoulders then don't get much work. So you really have to just focus on then looking at how do I train my shoulders, and that it's not going to interact with my chest, and etc, etc. So it's just about making sure you get to what works for you, and just don't listen to people when they say about genetic profiling, because it's not true, in the sense that you can still get to the same profile as the person next to you. It's just they'll get to it a bit quicker than what you will. So we're through the Christmas period now, so we're now looking at, I've just started a new diet, which is Carb Cycle, which I will do a full video on, explaining what I'm eating now and why I'm carb cycling as well. And I will also be changing my training in the next couple of weeks as well to something brand new that I've never had before. So I'll definitely be getting some videos on that and explaining how that's having an effect on me. The idea is a PCP training where it hardens your muscles, so that I'm very interested and very excited to start that one. So I'll get some videos up on that as well. First show's coming up now. We're now into 2015. First show's on the 26th of April 2015, so just over 4 months now. So we're slowly starting to cut now, just to bring back down and really get my shape intact and everything really tight for April. So it's going to be a slow process over these next 4 months, but then hopefully by April I will be looking really good and show ready and the best form I'll ever be in. So I'll obviously keep videos on that one as well, and keep everybody updated on that.
That we almost had it all. The scars are